Pageantry on Parade. This is an annual tradition here at Fairfield High School where I teach culinary arts. This is where the color guard and the percussion get together and they have an annual competition every year. Now I have done this competition every single year where I provided hospitality to the judges and the directors here at Fairfield High on the day of the competition. I didn't get to do this when we had to deal with COVID-19, but we're back doing this again and we're gonna have some fun and cook some great food. And I'm gonna have a few students with me and a few colleagues with me who are gonna help get this food done. We're gonna create some Cuban sandwiches. We're gonna create spaghetti bolognese. We're gonna create some biscuits and gravy. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna show you guys how to cook some great food. So fasten your seatbelts, guys. It's time to watch me cook. So, I need to inform all of the watchers. Cece has officially retired as my sidekick, so I have a new sidekick. Henrietta! It's your first day on the job, kiddo. You know what to do. Hit my music.
Action.
Don't make fun. It's my daughter. She's adopted. No, she does not have my head. She's self-conscious about that.
I'm Tom Dickinson.
All right.
As a young boy, I was diagnosed on the autism spectrum disorder and told that I would not accomplish a lot. But I never let that stop me because I used two words. Watch me. I'm a professional chef. I'm also a fully credentialed school teacher. And I'm a two-time cookbook author. So join me as we meet some really interesting people, cook some amazing food, and prove that just because you have a diagnosis doesn't mean you can't accomplish great things. So what are you guys waiting for? It's time to watch me cook.
That we made by grinding.
Pageantry on Parade, one of my favorite times of the year. Let me share with you a little bit why this event is so important and what this event really means for me and my program.
In 2017, our band teacher here at Fairfield High, Mr. Sweatland, came to me and he asked me if I would do these two band events for the year. Pageantry on Parade, which happens in the spring, and Tournament of Champions, which happens in the fall. I'd never done an event like this before. It was the first time we did an event for the school. We were currently working on rebuilding the culinary program. And after we did these two events, the culinary program got put on the map and we've done these events every year. We had to skip the event last year because of COVID-19, and I had to skip Tournament of Champions because of we have a brand new building and we didn't have our health certificate for our health inspection. But when Pageantry on Parade came around, I had to jump at the chance. This is tradition, this is love, and we definitely had to do it. It's the day before the competition and we have to get some stuff ready. Breakfast, we're gonna be doing some omelets and we're doing biscuits and gravy, and we're also gonna be doing eggs any way they want, and it's gonna be great. So right now, I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna make our biscuits for this competition. So you know what? Let's get to it. Let's get our mise together. All right, guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our biscuits together, and we're gonna get our mise en place together. So what we have here, we have our flour, we have a lot of flour. We actually doubled this recipe. We're using 2 pounds, 8 ounces of bread flour. We're using 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds of pastry flour. We're using a lot of baking powder. We're using some buttermilk. And we're gonna use, of course, some shortening. So right now, I'm gonna actually get this stuff together and we're gonna get to it, and we're actually going to measure out and make our biscuits.
The first thing I did was measure out all my dry ingredients. Second, I poured out and measured out my buttermilk so I could add it to the very end. Next, I measured out all my shortening to make sure I had plenty and weighed it on a scale to make sure that the amount was accurate for my biscuits.
I've got my mise en place for my biscuits together. Now I'm going to use my big 20-quart bowl. and I'm gonna bring this biscuit dough together and we're gonna get it rolled out and it's gonna be nice. Also, I just pulled my pork shoulder out of the oven because for our Cuban sandwiches for tomorrow, we're gonna get that shredded, we're gonna get that ready to go. It's gonna be awesome. Stay tuned!
I start by combining all of my ingredients in my 20-quart bowl. First thing I'm going to do is add my bread flour, I'm going to add my pastry flour, I'm going to add my baking powder, and I'm going to add my salt. And then it's time to start adding the shortening so I can get those pockets of fat working. I'm adding my shortening to the biscuit dough right now, and this is kind of a long process. I've got to break this shortening apart to make sure that I get those pockets of fat to make my biscuits nice and light. As you can see right now, I'm using a whisk to break up my shortening to make sure that those pockets of fat are working.
Now it's time to add the most important ingredient that makes these biscuits great. It's time to add the buttermilk.
Slowly I start adding the buttermilk and I start folding the dough together to make my biscuits. I want to get this done today so I can actually roll these out and shape these tomorrow and get them baked in the oven. Right now I'm wrapping it up in plastic wrap and I'm going to go get this put into the cooler so I can have it ready for the next day when my students can come in and they can roll it out. So I'm putting it in the bottom of the refrigerator and closing it up, and I'll see it tomorrow.
So one of the traditional dishes that I've done in this tournament or for this event is always doing Cuban sandwiches. I was inspired to do Cuban sandwiches by the movie Chef. I thought they're just the most beautiful thing in the world. So let's take a look at our Cuban style pork.
I know, it looks pretty awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow for POP Day.
All right, it's 6:30 in the morning. It's the day of the event. It's POP Day. Time to roll out some biscuits.
Luckily for me, my student Emery Pitts has shown up today, and he's going to help me roll out some biscuits and get these ready. While Emery's working on that, he's going to roll them out. I'm going to have him cut it into squares and not rounds, just to make some nice simple biscuits. What he's going to do, he's going to cut them, and then he's going to put them in a 425-degree oven for about 15 minutes till they're golden brown and they're nice and fluffy. As you can see, I'm showing Emery how to cut these out, and while he's watching me do that, next he's going to take this on himself and he's going to get this ready. While he's working on that, it's time to make the gravy. The best part of biscuits and gravy, you know. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brown off our house-made sausage that we made the day before. Next, after my sausage is brown, I'm going to add some flour to it to make my roux. After my roux is done and I've mixed it all together, I'm going to add some milk, and then I'm going to whisk it together until it gets nice and thick. You want that nice grainy consistency. Next, I'm going to add some of our house seasoning, which is our rosemary salt with black pepper, onion powder, and it's going to be delicious. Now I'm going to let my gravy thicken up so it gets to a nice consistency, and when it's done, breakfast is ready. We're going to get it on the line, or the buffet line, and we're going to get it ready to go. As you can see, we have our shaping dishes ready. We've got our gravy and our homemade biscuits, and they look delicious. We're getting ready to serve the first wave of people for breakfast, and along with our biscuits and gravy, we're serving bacon and our house-made sausage patties. And then, as always, I like to do an omelet bar, and we're going to do our omelet bar with some scrambled eggs as well. It's going to be great. Breakfast is served. While we're serving breakfast today, I can't do it without a lot of the great volunteers that I have that are helping to make this event happen. So you know what? Let's take the time and let's meet them.
Hi, my name is Valeria. And
You're a Culinary 1 student?
I'm a Culinary 1 student, but I just recently turned into the dining room manager.
Awesome. Very cool.
My name is Lisa Gee. I'm the college and career advisor. It's not too late to do your FAFSA and you're a senior.
Hi, my name is Dan J. Benard, and I'm a current sophomore here at FHS, and I'm a Culinary 1 student here at the Fairfield Falcon Grill.
And I'm your favorite teacher, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Good to know. He's just saying that for a grade. I'm just kidding. Okay. We have some amazing kids here. We have some amazing faculty that help me. But two who are not mentioned right now, Emery Pitts and Peter Kim, who both came in and helped with breakfast this morning. I want to give a proper shout out. So watchers, keep an eye on these guys. They got a great future. Now that breakfast is over, Lunch has already been taken care of thanks to our taco vendor. So right now, we're gonna get dinner going and we're gonna have it done really, really quick. So I'm gonna have my student Darren, who's gonna work on the spaghetti bolognese over here. He's gonna get it done. So let's go meet him. To start up our spaghetti bolognese, Darren is taking all his ground beef and he's browning it in the brazier. What Darren is going to do is take that beef, he's going to season it really well with the house seasoning, and he's going to cook it down until it gets nice and brown. And when it gets nice and brown, he's going to render all the fat off of that, and to make sure that we don't have greasy spaghetti, he's going to render all the fat off into a perforated pan, and make sure that our spaghetti is nice, but not too slick. You know what I mean? Alright, while Darren's working on the spaghetti bolognese and he's getting done, I'm going to start working on the stuff for our Cuban sandwiches. Let's get to it. The first thing I'm going to do is slice all the ham for the Cuban sandwiches. After that, I'm going to take all of our bread and I'm going to slice it in half. While I'm slicing up the bread using my Global Chef knife, my student Valeria is going to be also helping me prep up these sandwiches, and she's going to be slicing all the pickles into long, thin strips so we can get them ready and put them on the line.
Don't worry, I'm not getting
It's
your
going to
face.
be a great sandwich.
Don't be.
And let's not forget about our pork. Ooh, it looks good. All right, prep is done for the sandwiches. We're ready to go. Now let's go see what Darren's doing with our spaghetti sauce. Right now, Darren is taking his celery, carrots, and onions, or mirepoix as we call it, and he's putting it inside the rondo to saute it, and he wants to cook it down until it's nice and brown. Darren's going to keep an eye on all of his items until they get brown and caramelized. As you can see, he's emptying his onions in there, and now he's going to saute them until they cook down really, really nice. When they get nice and brown, he's going to add some tomato paste to that, then add some water and some beef base to make a really nice sauce. And while his sauce is cooking, he cooked off a whole bunch of spaghetti and then shocked it down in ice water to stop the cooking process so we have it for later. Alright, pasta's done, sauce is cooking, it's gonna cook low and slow, and you know what? We're ready for dinner. We got our pizza stuff ready to go, Cuban sandwich prep is ready to go, and it's time to just relax a little bit and enjoy the day, and when dinner service comes around, it'll be time to rock and roll. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, it's about that time. We're getting ready for service. People will be coming in about an hour, so you know what that means. Let's get to it. To assemble our Cuban sandwich, we first brush the bread with mustard. After we brushed all the bread with mustard, then we're going to start laying down the next layer, the ham. It's going to be delicious. One by one, we lay a couple pieces of ham down on each part of the sandwich, and after the ham is done, then we're going to lay down some pieces of Swiss cheese. We used American Swiss cheese for this one. We thought it would work really, really well. So that's going to be great. So next, after the Swiss cheese is laid down, we're going to start adding the shredded, slow-cooked braised pork on there. Ooh, it's delicious. And then after that, we're going to put pickles on them, and we're going to make sure that we have enough where every bite is going to be the same. We're putting these on a buffet line, so we're going to make sure we make plenty of them in advance. So while we're doing that, we're going to take these sandwiches, and we're going to put them on a panini grill, and we're going to let them cook until the bread is golden and the cheese has melted. While those are cooking,
sit right
we're
there.
going to
It's
start
fine.
cooking off some pasta. We have an inner pasta cooker here at the restaurant. After we pull the pasta out of the pasta cooker, we're going to toss it with some olive oil and some fresh herbs for some nice garnish. We're going to make the pasta look really good. That green color is absolutely beautiful. After the pasta's done, we're going to get that into a chafing dish. And now it's time to check on our sauce. Our sauce is looking really good. It's nice and thick. It's a classic bolognese sauce. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. After this sauce is done, we're going to put this sauce in a hotel pan. We're going to get it on the line, and we're going to have it ready to go. That looks good. So, now we're going to put it on the hotel pan. There's the Cuban sandwiches. We got the bolognese sauce there, and we have our pasta. All I got to say to that is, order up and bon appetit. Dinner's ready and the judges are about to come in. So what are we waiting for? Let's eat! Well, another successful event in the books. We didn't get to put out as much food as we wanted to, but it's quality and not quantity. And we put out a good quality product and everybody loved it and we had zero complaints. And you know what else is quality? you are. That's right, I'm talking to you. Don't let anybody think that you are not a quality person, because you know what? You are. You are amazing. Yeah, I'm talking to you watching this right now. Watchers, your life, what you do, you are a worthwhile person. And remember, if you're diagnosed with autism or a disability, just remember, your diagnosis is not your destiny. Neither is your history. I thank you for joining me today on behalf of myself, my culinary students, the staff that helped me, Xiaomei, Lisa, Peter, on behalf of my students, Imri, Darren, Valeria, and the other students that came here and helped me. Thank you very much. And you know what? Get out of here. Go be awesome. See you next time on Watch Me Cook. Bye.